right, ladies, we're going to talk about perimenopausal symptoms and menopause and what happens. And you can also relate it to hormone balance in general. So I want you to take away, if you are not there yet, and honestly, there are a lot of women, well, it's not the norm for in the 30s, but there are women who start going into perimenopausal in their 30s, but typically it's mid 40s. So if you're in your 30s, this is some good information that you can start to acknowledge symptoms, because a lot of times doctors misdiagnose when women are dealing with premenopausal symptoms. I was doing the research on this, and honestly, I've learned a little bit more that I did not know, researching this information for us to go over. And one of the things that stuck out to me is that a lot of women will struggle with hormonal balance, even though they might not have done it before. They will start struggling with imbalance of hormones because estrogen lowers, progesterone lowers during the early signs of menopause. And doctors will misdiagnose because they are not sure how to fix it or what's causing it. And a lot of times, one of the most prescribed things during this time is antidepressants, because, hey, you're struggling with your moods. And it can be really fixed, or at least worked on, through focusing on balance your hormones with the things we're going to go over today without doing antidepressants. So I'm educating you right now, so that way when you do get there, that you are well prepared. And if you are in your 40s and you haven't went through it yet, then this is definitely good for you. But also, if you are in menopause, then we definitely need you to listen and take any tips and tricks that you hear from tonight's conversation to help your hormonal balance, because it's very difficult, because the shifts in hormones are sporadic, and we need to try to get control over it to the best of our ability. All right, so really what perimenopause is a transitional period before menopause. So that's whenever the hormonal fluctuations start, irregular periods start, and a doctor will say that you are in perimenopause until you have ceased menstruation for a complete of 12 months. So technically you are in premenopause until you've completely not had a period for 12 months.
Right.
And there's going to be a lot of changes in your mood and emotions, because your body's shifting. So just be aware of that. Nothing's wrong with you, okay? We just got to get those hormones under control. So like I said before, I'm going to say it again, typically mid 40s is when this is on average for women. And it has been known that it takes around 4 to 8 years to go into full-blown menopause. And on average, it's usually at 51 is what statistics show. So around 51, it says that the average women are usually in menopause. What happens during premenopause? The estrogen declines a lot, and that's when the bouts of irregular periods are happening. Muscle loss, bone density declines, your metabolism changes. Also, because of the hormonal imbalances, here are some of the symptoms that we experience: hot flashes, night sweats, sleep disturbances, fatigue, mood changes, changes in skin like dryness, less elasticity, hair thinning, vaginal dryness, low libido, changes in cholesterol. Well, changes in cholesterol, but it's at high risk for heart disease because of the decline in estrogen. It disrupts the body's ability to regulate cholesterol and other lipids as well. So how we can support our body during this time. So Number one on the list is foods that mimic estrogen effects, because we're losing estrogen. We're losing it. So we need foods that help mimic that, because we really do need it. We really do need estrogen to help build muscle, for bone density. And I'm going to go over a list of why we need estrogen in a little bit. But there are certain foods that I'm going to go over that mimic it, which are called phytoestrogens. Foods like tofu, edamame, nuts, seeds, berries, just to name a few. And let's kind of talk about some more of the detailed of that. So nuts, things like peanuts, walnuts, cashews, almonds, pistachios. We can easily get that in, right, for snacks or salads. That can be pretty easy to get in, these type of nuts. Seeds, guess what? Flax seeds, sesame seeds, chia seeds. Berries, such as raspberries, strawberries, cranberries. Here are some other ones: garlic, peaches, vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. If you are getting in a good amount of vegetables and a variety of vegetables, you're going to hit some of these needs to help balance your hormones. Also, Mary, I haven't left you out: grains, oats, oatmeal. Okay. Oatmeal also is a phytoestrogen, which helps your body, regulate estrogen, I guess, because it's kind of like a supplement, honestly, kind of like that. Number two is just going to help with muscle mass and bone density, which is your calcium foods and your vitamin D. And your body does need them together. So here's some options I want to go over. Calcium-rich foods. Yes. Can you take supplements? Yes. But I really want to focus on whole foods and ways to get it in naturally. So yogurt, cheese, leafy greens, broccoli, and even plant-based milks like almond milk, cashew milk, things like that. That you can get some good vitamin C. Calcium. I don't know where I came up with vitamin C. Calcium foods. And then how our body absorbs it is when we are combining the calcium and vitamin D, and foods that you can do that with. Well, first of all, no food, outside time, naturally, vitamin D, outside time, but also mushrooms, fatty fish like salmon, and eggs. I've always said over the years, eggs are a superfood. You get eggs, you're going to get a lot of nutrients in one product, one item, but also it has some vitamin D. Number three is protecting your digestion and bowel regulation by fiber and probiotics. So we need to, when our hormones are kind of going crazy, we need bowel regulation and good digestion to help shed excess hormones in our body. So fiber helps with that. Probiotics help with that because of the gut microbiome. We have living organisms in our gut that we consider good bacteria and then bad bacteria, and we need a good balance of that. So remember that if you do get sick and you take antibiotics, that kills all the good bacteria. So it's very important for you to eat foods that are rich in good probiotics, like yogurt. Kefir is it looks like a liquid yogurt. I guess it kind of tastes like one too. These are really good in probiotics. Yes, you can take a supplemental probiotic, but that's the reason why I'm always talking about yogurt, because yogurt's just an easy way to get it in. Fiber you're going to get, as long as you're eating your fruits and vegetables and your good whole grains, you're going to get some good adequate fiber. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. So Chelsea, like we were talking about eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, if you're eating like that, then you're going to get adequate amounts of fiber in. So that's it, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're a person that would eat like once a day and it doesn't have a lot of good fiber rich foods, then, or even twice a day and still doesn't have good fiber-rich foods, then yes, the fiber struggle will be real, because we got to keep our digestion healthy, especially as we age, because it is a way to help balance our hormones. Number 4, in which I've said this with Chelsea already, but I'm gonna say it again, is ensure a good intake of vitamins and minerals by breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, right? Like, yes, this is a way to help balance your hormones, because when we undereat, we are sacrificing our hormonal balance. Okay, so anyways, going back to that good intake for vitamins and minerals, we need it, okay? It's more about low caloric foods. It's all about what can I do to serve my body. Okay, number 5 is omega-3 fatty acids. Very helpful for hormonal balance. Also healthy for cholesterol, because during menopause, cholesterol is one of the things that most menopausal women struggle with. So how can we eliminate that problem in a healthy, natural way? Is to get our omega-3 fatty acids, which is fish, fatty fish like salmon, right? I don't eat salmon enough. I need to make it more of a priority, but let's try to get salmon in a few times a month, if not once a week. If not once a week, that's fine, but a couple of times a month would be good. Plus, if we're eating chia seeds and flax seeds, circling it back around, and good nuts like walnuts is a good omega-3 nut. You can take a supplement, obviously, but it still is a supplement. So that means we do need to be focused on getting in some good omega-3s through our food, which chia and flax seeds are an easy way to do that, and your good healthy nuts. Oh, and avocados. I didn't even write that down, but it is one. Okay, number 6 on my list is enough whole food protein, obviously, just because in menopause we're going to lose muscle mass because of estrogen drops and bone density, and protein just helps us maintain that to the best of our ability, with our drops in estrogen. So getting in enough adequate protein, and I really want you to focus on whole food protein. Yes, a lot of times we do need processed protein to get our numbers up, but it does not take out all of our whole food protein, which comes from our meats, our lean meats, our nuts, chia and flax seeds, also a protein, yogurts, soy products. Think of it like a supplement on top of what you're, eating. And you can eat plant-based proteins and animal proteins like milk to get your whole food proteins in, and then you can supplement with more of the processed protein like the protein shakes and stuff and protein drinks. Okay, number 7. With menopause, you're going to struggle with sleep because hormones, right? Like, we know that. So getting yourself in a consistent bedtime routine for sleep quality. You're not going to be able to get great sleep in all the time, especially with hormones, especially if you're having any night sweats or any of those things that are symptomatic from menopause. But if you can build a good, consistent bedtime routine where you are maybe taking a bath before bed and doing a skincare routine, or just setting the tone, your body gets used to the pattern, and it helps relax you. It helps release melatonin in your body, which is a hormone. It helps naturally release that because the body says, oh, she's getting ready for bed. I'm going to release this so she can sleep. And so building that consistency will help your body do its job to help you get adequate sleep. And you really do need sleep for hormone balance. So let's practice good bedtime routines. Number 8, we talk about water all the time, but getting in your good water, because nothing else is going to function appropriately without your adequate water. Get it in. Number 9, exercise, but mainly strength training. Why? Because with the drops in estrogen, we lose muscle mass. We lose muscle mass and bone density. With you doing resistance training, strength training, the muscle mass will help because you're maintaining or building to the best of your ability, it helps maintain estrogen in your body. And we need to maintain it at a balanced level. So if we have muscle mass in our body, then we are counteracting that, right? So we need, if we're having to choose cardiovascular or strength training, especially at this season of our life, then we need to focus on strength training to maintain and possibly build more muscle mass. Because with the irregular flows of estrogen in our body during this season, it's going to be hard to build muscle. From the research, it shows that women lifting heavy and even doing low reps will help build muscle, especially if you are eating foods that are acting as phytoestrogens in your body to give you the muscle opportunity to build, and you are lifting, at around a 6 to 8 rep mark, at least occasionally with heavy weights, then you are going to be way more able to build muscle during menopause, because you're challenging your muscle, you're breaking down muscle fibers, and then if you're giving the body what you need according to what we talked about today, you're going to be one of those women that can build muscle during menopause and well beyond menopause.